The Zarnak Council had seen enough. Their patrols were gone, their fleets were destroyed, their bases had been breached, and worst of all, they still hadn't even seen the human scout ship clearly. Commander Threx slammed his fist on the table. "Enough running. No more games. We will trap him." He called together 20 warships, each one fully armed with heavy cannons, stealth fields, and tracking drones. They would hide inside the dead halo, a ring of shattered moons and debris. A perfect ambush site. "This is where we finish it," Threx said. "He's just one human." They didn't know. Juno had already read their plan. From deep space, the Black Whisper glided through darkness like a shadow. Its black hull absorbed all light. No signal escaped it, no engine trail was left behind. Juno watched the trap unfold from a distance. He smiled. "They finally took the bait," he whispered. He knew about the dead halo. He had studied its gravity fields, its hiding spots, its unstable debris zones. The Zarnak ships were powerful, but they didn't understand risk. They wanted a clean kill, a perfect ambush. Juno was about to turn that perfection into a graveyard. The moment he entered the trap, the Zarnak fleet closed in. All 20 ships. "Locked weapons! Target locked!" the lead captain announced. "He's in range!" "Wait," Threx said. "Hold fire, I want him alive. I want to know how he did this." They sent a message to the human scout. "Surrender. You're surrounded. There is no escape." For the first time, Juno replied, "I know. I came here to show you why that's a mistake." Then everything went dark. Their screens glitched. Lights flickered. One ship lost control and smashed into moon debris. Another's engines overheated and exploded. Drones spun wildly, shooting at empty space. They were under attack, but they couldn't see their enemy. Juno had hacked their systems before he even entered the trap. He had planned this. Inside the chaos, his ship moved like a ghost. He used the gravity around broken moons to slingshot between ships. He didn't destroy them all, just enough to cause panic. One hit here, a systems failure there, then silence. The fleet tried to regroup, but it was too late. Half of them were gone. The others were trapped by drifting wreckage. Juno sent one last message. "You planned a perfect trap. I planned a perfect test. Now Earth knows how you fight." And then, he vanished again. Zarnak Command watched in horror as the entire ambush fleet was lost in under 10 minutes. No distress signals, no survivors, just broken metal and echoes in space. Commander Threx stood frozen. His trap, his plan, it had all failed. One of his officers whispered, "Sir, he let us live, just long enough to report this." Threx said nothing. He knew the truth now. This wasn't war. This wasn't even revenge. This was preparation, and the countdown was still going. Back on the Black Whisper, Juno checked the timer. 11 hours. 47 minutes. 52 seconds. He leaned back in his seat, watching stars drift by. "Everything's ready?" he said, and far behind him, in Earth's Deep Space Command, the data upload began. In the center of Earth's military space base, alarms began to blink. Scout transmission received. The room went still. For months, Earth had waited. They had sent out only one man, one scout ship. No army, no backup, just Captain Juno and a mission. Now his mission was complete. The data came in fast. Maps, battle recordings, fleet responses, Zarnak war codes, weapon blueprints, hidden outposts, all of it. The room filled with whispers. He did it. He actually mapped their entire system. One general stepped forward. Her name was Admiral Cora. She looked at the massive screen in front of her, showing everything Juno had sent. She turned to the room and said one word: "Deploy." Far across the stars, the Zarnak were still trying to understand what had happened. Commander Threx had gone silent. Some said he had gone into hiding. Others said he was preparing for a second attack, but no one expected what came next. Every communication tower in Zarnak space picked up a signal. It didn't come with threats. No demands, no orders, just a voice. Clear, calm, human. The scout has returned. Earth sees your weakness. This is not an invasion. This is the first warning. Then came the image. A massive human warship. Unlike anything the galaxy had seen. It wasn't fast like the scout. It wasn't quiet. It didn't hide. It wanted to be seen. The ship was called HSS Deliverance, over 12 kilometers long. Its weapons could shatter moons. Its armor was stronger than anything in Zarnak records. It didn't enter silently. It announced itself. Zarnak ships scrambled to intercept. Fighters, bombers, destroyers all launched toward it. But the Deliverance didn't fire first. It just kept moving. Fast. Then, with one single blast, it wiped out an entire blockade line. Aliens watched from far systems. Some laughed nervously. Others sat in silence. The galaxy had forced humans into the shadows, had called them weak, had banned them from war. But this ship, this monster, was their answer, and it was only the first. Back on Earth, Admiral Cora spoke to her command team. Captain Juno showed us how they react. He showed us where they are strong and where they are afraid. Now we show them what we've become. Dozens of ships powered up across Earth's orbital platforms. Fleets, hidden for years, built in silence, forged in exile, powered by new human tech no alien had seen before. And deep beneath Earth's surface, something even more powerful began to wake. Out in space, Juno watched the stars shift as he returned home. His mission was complete. He whispered, "They thought I was the threat. They have no idea what's coming next." His ship disappeared into a jump gate. Behind him, the stars burned red. The war had gone on for years. Alien empires fought each other for control of the stars. In Sector 9, the Zarnak Alliance ruled with power. No one dared to enter their space without permission. Their ships were big, their weapons strong, and their fleet covered every planet they controlled. One day, a strange signal was picked up near the border of Sector 9. The signal came from a ship, a small one. It didn't match any known design. It was not Zarnak, not Draven, not Varnak. The signal showed the ship was moving fast, but alone. The Zarnak commanders laughed when they saw it. "Only one ship?" said Commander Thrax. "It looks weak. Let the patrol deal with it." 3 patrol ships moved out to intercept. They locked onto the small ship and sent a warning message. "Turn back! This is Zarnak space! You are not allowed here!" There was no reply. The patrol leader, Captain Velra, grew annoyed. "Destroy it!" she ordered. Their weapons fired. Red lasers shot across space and hit the target. But nothing happened. The small ship was still there, not even a scratch. Then, in less than 3 seconds, the patrol ships exploded, one by one. The alien base fell silent. "What just happened?" someone asked in shock. They replayed the video. The human ship had moved fast, too fast. It had dodged every shot and fired only once at each enemy. It was like it knew exactly where to hit. The Zarnak commanders stared at the screen. "Was that human?" one asked. Humans had been quiet for a long time. After the last galactic treaty, humans were told to stay on Earth. They were not. Welcome in Space Wars. Many aliens believed humans were weak, emotional, wild, easy to defeat. But now, this one small ship had destroyed a full patrol. Alone. Commander Threx ordered 5 more warships to take it down. These were stronger ships with better weapons and trained crews. They found the human ship drifting slowly near an asteroid belt. It looked harmless. It didn't move. The new squad surrounded it. "Send another warning," Threx said. Again, the ship gave no answer, so they attacked. But the same thing happened. Each alien ship was taken down, clean, quick, and silent. No escape, no damage to the human ship. The Zarnak Command Center fell into panic. Reports came in from all stations. "How is this possible?" Threx shouted. "It's only one ship." They finally received a message from the strange vessel. It was short. Just a few words. "This is only a scout." The room went cold. No one spoke. A scout? Just a scout? If this was only a scout, what would the real force look like? One commander whispered, "We've made a mistake." In the shadows of deep space, the human ship turned again. It moved without sound, slipping past defenses, watching, recording. The pilot inside, Captain Juno, sat calmly. His face was quiet. His eyes were sharp. His mission was not to fight, only to gather data. He had done this many times before, in different sectors, against different enemies. He was not a hero, not a soldier. He was something else, a test, a warning. Earth had changed. The humans had been silent for too long. They had watched the galaxy fight. They had listened to the insults, the rules, the fear others had of them, and they had prepared. Captain Juno sent another message to Earth. "Sector 9 complete. Enemy reaction. Recorded. Fleet can proceed." Back in the Zarnak base, the leaders tried to hide the news. They didn't want others to know. But word spread fast. Whispers of the human scout reached other systems. Other races started to worry. If humans were back, if this was how one man fought, what would happen when Earth sent its full army? In the dark sky of Sector 9, the small ship vanished again. Like a ghost. No trail, no heat, no sound. Only fear remained. And for the first time in many years, the Zarnak commanders felt it deeply. They were not ready. They were never ready. Because they thought humans were finished. But they had only just started. The Zarnak War Council sat in silence. No one dared to speak. The videos had been reviewed again and again. 5 elite ships, destroyed in under a minute. No survivors. No trace of the attacker. Commander Threx stared at the black screen in front of him. "This is not normal," he said finally. "This cannot be just one ship." But it was. The human scout ship, small and silent, had escaped. Again. No one could track it. No one could stop it. Across the galaxy, the news was spreading. A human ship alone had defeated Zarnak warships. The empires that once mocked Earth now felt a cold chill. They remembered the old stories. Stories of how dangerous humans could be when pushed. Still, Threx did not believe the threat. "Send the Red Fang fleet," he ordered. 10 heavy cruisers, trained in deep battle tactics. If that scout is still in our sector, we will crush it. The Red Fang fleet launched that same night. 10 powerful ships flew in formation, scanning every asteroid, every planet, every shadow. They were ready for anything. But the human scout was already watching them. Captain Juno sat quietly inside his ship. His face was calm. His fingers moved over the controls like a pianist playing an old song. He had studied the enemy's patterns. He knew how they thought. He knew their technology. And more importantly, he knew their weakness. He didn't fight with brute force. He fought with precision. The Red Fang ships entered a narrow star channel. It was quiet. Too quiet. Then it happened. The lead ship's engine exploded. Before the others could react, the second ship lost control and crashed into an asteroid. The remaining ships spread out, confused and panicked. "Where is he?" one captain yelled. "We can't see him." That was the point. Juno didn't show himself. He shut off his engines. He floated silently, hiding in the debris, using Zarnak signals to mask his presence. One by one, he took out the fleet, not with missiles or lasers, but by hacking into their systems, using their own controls to disable them. By the time the last ship exploded, he had never fired a single visible weapon, only one transmission. came from the Red Fang fleet before they vanished. A simple voice, calm, human. Your technology is good, but it's not enough. At Zarnok Command, alarms screamed. Officers ran across the control room, trying to understand what had just happened. The fleet, gone. No wreckage recovered, no bodies found. Just one line of code left behind in the logs. Scout complete. Wait for deployment. Commander Threx slammed his fist on the table. "This is not a scout!" he shouted. "This is war!" But deep down, he was beginning to understand the truth. This was a scout. One man, one ship. A test run, and Earth hadn't even started fighting yet. The galaxy had always feared humans for their chaos, their rage, their will to survive. But now they saw something new, something worse. Discipline, patience, and a new kind of war. Captain. Juno sat inside his dark ship, alone. Around him, lights blinked softly. His face showed no fear, no pride, only focus. He wasn't here to win battles. He was here to measure the enemy. His mission was clear. Test the Zarnok defenses, record their response time, map their weak points, and survive. The ship he flew, the Black Whisper, wasn't even Earth's strongest. It was made for stealth and speed, not war. But Juno was trained for this kind of work. He had done it before, on the edge of Draven space, inside the molten belts of the Varnak Empire. But the Zarnok were different. They were proud, and that made them blind. Back at the Zarnok Command Center, Commander Threx tried to understand what had gone wrong. He brought in tech experts, battle analysts, even spies from other empires. No one had answers. How could one scout destroy fleets and vanish every time? Some said it was a superweapon. Others whispered it was an AI. But then a short message appeared on every Zarnok battle screen. It came in clear in simple galactic common. You are not fighting Earth's army. You are facing a man on a timer. The room went silent. What timer? The Zarnok tried to trace the message, but they couldn't find the source. The human ship had already moved to another sector. Captain Juno had slipped into one of their main comm towers. Not to destroy it, but to record everything. Troop movement, ship routes, fleet strength, energy supply levels, all stored in his ship's AI. He even accessed their emergency war council plans. He was building a map of their empire, weak spots, secret bases, fleet delays, hidden weapons, everything. And he had only 48 hours left, because when the timer ended, Earth would receive his data, and the real fleet would move. On a distant moon, a small outpost picked up a strange signal. The guards went to check. They saw nothing, but later that night their oxygen supply station exploded. Not enough to kill anyone, but just enough to show them how easy it could have been. On the ground, in the sand, someone found a metal card. It had one word on it: observed. Zarnok leaders now faced a truth they couldn't ignore. They weren't dealing with a wild human. This was someone, trained, careful, and cold. He didn't attack civilians. He didn't destroy everything. He chose his targets. He wanted them to see what he could do, and that fear was worse than any weapon. Commander Threx held the metal card in his hand. "He's not here to fight," he said quietly. "He's here to watch." Back in his ship, Juno sat still. The timer on his console counted down: 27 hours, 14 minutes, 08 seconds. He pressed a button. A whisper-soft voice echoed in the ship. "Scan complete. Upload ready." Juno smiled just a little. He whispered to himself, "Let's show them the real storm." The Zarnok Empire had faced wars before. Pirate uprisings, rebel worlds, even black hole weapons. But nothing felt like this. Across the stars, sensors started blinking. Ships detected strange energy spikes. Long-range scans picked up. Dozens, then hundreds, of unknown signatures entering known space. At first, they thought it was a glitch. Then came the sound, boom, 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 like thunder through the void. The Earth fleet had arrived. The first wave wasn't flashy. No big lights, no loud messages, just a wall of metal and purpose. Hundreds of ships, different sizes, different shapes, but all had one thing in common. They were built for war. From Earth's command center, Admiral Kora gave a simple order. Advance. Don't fire unless fired upon, but make sure they see us. This wasn't about surprise. This was about sending a message. Alien empires across the galaxy rushed to their view screens. Some watched in fear, some in curiosity. Others still believed Earth was bluffing. Then the second wave arrived. Ships bigger than cities, carrying gravity weapons, shield breakers, stealth drones, and Earth's newest creation, storm cores, powerful energy bombs that could wipe out entire fleets without radiation. The fleet spread through Zarnok space like a shadow, but they didn't attack blindly. They stopped at every border, sent one clear message. Your war leaders tried to kill a scout. Earth is here to respond, but we are not conquerors. We came for balance. Zarnok tried to fight anyway. They sent fleets to hold the lines, but it was no longer a fair fight. In one system, 10 Zarnok warships surrounded an Earth destroyer. The destroyer activated a mirror shield, bouncing their own lasers back at them. In another system, Zarnok ships deployed mines. Earth ships sent in drones that disarmed every single one, without losing a single craft. Nothing worked. One Zarnok captain begged, "What do they want from us?" The answer came in silence. Earth didn't want territory, or slaves, or revenge. They wanted one thing: respect. On the edge of the Zarnok capital world, Earth's fleet stopped. They could have fired, could have ended everything. But Admiral Kora gave a different command. Open comms. Zarnok screens lit up. Across every command room, one human face appeared. Captain Juno. He had returned. His voice was calm, his eyes sharp. I was your test. Now Earth has passed the exam. You have two choices: make peace or face the full storm. And then, for the first time, Zarnok chose silence because they realized that wasn't the full fleet. It was just the first line. Zarnok space was frozen. Not a single ship moved. Their fleets were still burning, their bases exposed, their traps broken, and above their capital planet, Earth's warships waited. The Deliverance, Earth's command vessel, hovered like a silent giant. It could wipe out the entire planet, but it hadn't fired a single shot. Inside the Zarnok War Council chamber, the High General shouted in panic, "We should strike now! No, we negotiate! They're bluffing!" Then the room went quiet, because the lights dimmed. A new message appeared across their walls. This is your final warning. Earth has waited long enough. Admiral Kora stood aboard the Deliverance. Her hands were behind her back, her voice calm. This isn't about revenge, she told her officers. This is about memory. They forgot who we are. Let's remind them. With control. She sent out one final transmission. You mocked the scout. You called us weak. You saw one ship and thought you knew Earth. Now you see our fleet. But understand, this is not our full strength. Behind the Deliverance, more jump gates opened. And then came the true fear. The Second Armada. It wasn't just warships anymore. These were planet-class carriers, solar forges, AI-controlled stealth fleets, and deep space artillery platforms. Weapons, never seen before by alien eyes. They didn't even enter Zarnok space fully. They just stopped, visible on the edge of every sensor, like wolves circling a cornered beast. The message was clear. Earth could erase the Zarnok Empire in a day, but they weren't here to destroy. They were here to teach. Captain Juno sent one. Last message to Commander Threx directly. You faced me and thought you'd won. What you didn't know, I was only the first boot on the ground. Next time, you won't get a warning. Threx, once proud, now pale, finally responded, We surrender. Earth's ships didn't cheer. They didn't taunt. They simply turned, and one by one, they left. No systems damaged, no planets taken, no loot, just silence, and a memory the galaxy would never forget. From that day forward, the alien empires created a new rule. Never provoke. Earth. If you see one human ship, ask how many are hiding behind it, because now they knew. The Scout was only the beginning, and Earth was just getting started.